Hey guys, how's it going? So we see YouTubers like, the Quartering, Tim Pool. There's actually quite a few that have noticed this. This isn't fake per se or anything like that. All complaining about views going down quite a bit. That's freaky to a lot of YouTubers who actually make a living on YouTube. Luckily, I'm not one of them. I guess, or unluckily, I guess you could say, I'm not one of them. But regardless, as I'm kind of watching this, I think there's an element here that not a lot of them are willing to consider. I super chatted the Quartering here and said, hey, I think Kick is doing well. And I understand the Quartering's bias against Kick. It used to be really, really, really bad just months ago. Bot farming, everything like that. And I know that there's a bunch of famous creators who went over to Kick who are already making a lot of money beforehand. And then they're talking about, oh, I'm making 5 times the money now on Kick. It is so crazy good. But in reality, that's probably just business dealings behind the scenes that they're not talking about in general. It's not, clear cut. At the end of the day, though, Kick has had a mass migration to it. I think more people are going there. I think people are done with regular political shows. Look at Nuxanor, look at Tectone, look at Asmongold, look at Pegasus. Those guys know how to cover drama in the most dramatic way while interjecting politics into it in bits. It's entertaining. People don't want this type of entertaining content anymore, I think. The kind of content I've been doing here. The kind of content the Quartering does and Tim Pool does. I think even then, like when the Quartering, when Tim Pool, Sargon of Akkad, all these people were doing it, it was very entertaining because they were normal guys going out, they're having normal discourse, and they would get into actual uncensored arguments. Like genuinely like name-calling, stuff like that. The Blood Sports era came up with Andy Worski, Tonka Saw, all those guys. Look at what happened there. It was entertaining. And now people are moving towards more niche drama. Video games, and it's all been intertwined. That's what the internet mainly is. The internet would be absolutely nothing without video games. Just a dead fact. Look at how it started with Newgrounds. Look at how it started with like Just Too Pale or any other online website really back in the day. It was all based on video games, animation about video games, making fun of it, making fun of anime. It was always entertainment first, logic second. When you intertwine the two, it becomes more entertaining. And then we kind of separated from that. Now, that being said, it's not like they don't have a point. I mean, listen to the Quartering here about it.
I don't think it was demographics just because it was too, like, rip the Band-Aid off. Like, it was just too, like, boom, overnight. Like, I have an actual YouTube rep, like, that I text, not like some Pajit in India, And I was like, bro, I've texted him multiple times, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, well, I need more data. He doesn't know. He's like, I'm like,
it would have been so funny if he was like, well, I need more data.
You know what? I have never had less than like 500,000 views a day in 10 years, but suddenly overnight I go to 200,000. Like, that's not normal. I didn't get canceled. I didn't, I didn't get nothing. There's no external reason for it. I mean, even Tim, you could tell Tim's feeling the pressure because he put this video out. This video is basically...
Well, let's go check out Tim's video in general on this. Because, see, like I said, multiple people are noticing it. I'm not going to pull up every single account. But the Quartering's noticing it. Tim Pool's noticing it. I'm noticing it by far. Well, kind of. My views have always been all over the place. All over the place. I could never get it narrowed down, nor could I really get a hold of my own audience, which is so frustrating. So I don't know what steps I need to take per se. I don't know how much further I need to go in what direction. I'm at a lot. I'm just trying. I'm just throwing things at the wall and hoping they stick for the most part. And right now, angering leftists about like King of the Hill and South Park episodes has just been great.
The internet is dead. And what does it mean? Well, some say it died in 2016. I think it may have died well before then.
Ooh,
but dead...
God, Tim. I know my microphone settings are not the best right now, but they have always been great in the back. There is no excuse for an SM7B, which has insane bass response, to sound that tinny out of his voice. I'm sorry, I gotta criticize the crap out of him for that. That is harsh.
The internet theory states that most interactions are bots.
Oh, it's like he's got a de-esser or something on heavily. That's really, really, really harsh.
AI-generated accounts or private companies that make a series of sock puppets and pretend to be multiple people. I think it started in the early 2010s with what we call sock puppets. That's where a single individual will run hundreds or more accounts, semi-automated, and respond with...
Okay, that's a terrible definition, Tim. A sock puppet account is just a fake account. You know what I mean? To pretend like you're somebody else. But you jumped a lot of steps there if you wanted to give a proper definition. But anyway, sock puppet account. Some people run hundreds of them. But a sock puppet account is an account, like let's say I create an account named Brittany Venti, and I just pretend to be her. Or it could be someone like Brittany Sanchez, someone you've never heard of, and I grab somebody else's photo. I mean, maybe that photo belonged to a girl named, I don't know, Ashley or something like that. And then I just make an account, a fabricated person out of all that. That's a sock puppet account. Or it could just be an anon account. Either or.
With certain opinions to make it seem like some ideas are more popular or certain content is more popular. But there are many facets to this. I do believe that AI is playing a role. And I wonder, I know that they're going to call me a conspiracy theorist for this, but they always do anyway. And I don't think it really matters that much anymore as we are watching the decline of community and culture and news. And that is, I do believe there's a strong probability that USAID money, whether intentionally or otherwise, found its way into the hands of marketing firms, activist organizations that operated sock puppet and bot accounts to swing political opinion.
He would know a lot about bot accounts, you know, that shadow box that came after him, right? Oh, that was fake. That was not real. But anyway, we don't have to rehash that drama, right? Anyway, yeah, so it's a good possibility that USAID was being funneled into these people. These people were like, what can I do with this money? Oh, let's open up a phone server farm, essentially, and have like 1,000 people, and let's boost content that is, I guess you could say, counterculture.
That is, we know USAID was heavily involved in funding activist organizations. If you were an activist organization trying to swing public opinion, what's the most effective way to do it? Probably spam blasting people with emails and other messages online to make them think your idea is mainstream. But what happens when everyone is doing that for one reason or another? We then get inflated view counts, numbers that probably don't make a lot of sense. So let's try this. We know that right now, mainstream corporate cable television, they hit around 3 million on, say, Fox News, right? But these viewers are largely 70 years old and older. What about everybody else? Well, you'll notice that, like, I don't know, Mr. Beast gets 300 million views.
Yeah, the one that gets all the 70-year-old people to watch him, right? Mr. Beast, who knows how much of that is even real or not. It's an interesting channel, to say the least, but I do think the fact that it's rooted in entertainment, mostly, that they're probably mostly genuine.
Have you ever stopped and asked yourself if you actually believe that number? Now, I don't know what Mr. Beast is or isn't doing, and I'm not saying I know for a fact, but...
Well, then why that's such a dumb argument, though. Why even bring that up? You brought up one of the absolute top YouTuber of all time. When PewDiePie had those very, very similar numbers, you know, back in the day, why didn't anybody question that? You can't really necessarily compare entertainment to, you know, like politics and stuff. Is Mr. Beast experiencing a dip as well? That's the question. Because then it would align a little bit more with the theory. But if not, then you're not even comparing apples to apples.
Doesn't it feel strange that there are people who make a video on YouTube and get 100, 200, 300, 400, 500,000 views? Do we really believe that 1 million people watched one of these videos? I don't know.
Yeah, I do believe that. Yeah, absolutely. 1 million people is not exactly a lot whenever you have 6 billion people on the internet. Yeah, I'd say that's a weird one to go off of. I can understand the political drop. You're not going to get me anywhere outside of that.
To be honest, I'm starting to doubt it. They used to tell us that 20 million people watched Big Bang Theory, and maybe that was back when, you know, you had only a few cable channels.
20 million people is literally less than 10% of the United States population, but yeah. I mean, and Big Bang Theory was worldwide, so yeah.
Well, according to CNET, there's an online community that believes the internet died in 2016, and here's how AI fits into that picture. As AI becomes more and more prominent and mainstream, and we start to realize that it's easily accessible to consumers, it starts to become more plausible that, well, people are botting. I've come to believe this is likely the case, but I don't know. It's hard to think so because when I go out in the streets, people recognize me and they say hello to me and they know my name. And more and more, I see it happening. So certainly a lot of people are watching this, and fame does still exist. But I have theories. I think that it's a combination, or it's an emergent phenomenon. That is, it wasn't a singular conspiracy from government. It's not that USAID was funding all of it. They're just one component. And with the end of USAID, money that was finding its way to...
Well, at least try to define the other components. But anyway, just to interject in there, I was just thinking in my head, I don't know why, but his name's Tim Pool, and he's bald. And I was thinking of a good nickname, but Tim Pool Q. Anon. There you go.
Activist organizations that were doing this and political organizations has dried up, and thus much of it is stopping. Views are rapidly declining, search volume is declining, and everything seems to be decentralizing.
It's a good theory. It's a good theory for a lot of things along those lines, but it depends on the categories as well. Are we noticing a category drop-off? And the answer seems to be yes, mostly in the political sphere. I don't see it happening with people who are doing video game playthroughs. I don't see it happening. Like, Oni plays. It's not like his views are dropping or anything like that, and I don't think he's got a bunch of bots on him. Surely not. They're not exactly orthodox. They're not Game Grumps, you know what I'm saying? And yet they seem to be doing just fine, if not better than what they were even last year. It's really difficult to place it at this moment, other than the fact that we just notice it in political spheres on all sides. It's not like it's a right-wing or a left-wing thing. It's literally just about everywhere, including late-night television as well.
But then I start to notice a lot of these videos, AI generated with millions of views, and I think, oh boy, are we cooked. Now, some people believe that the decline in the apparent sales, in money transactions, it's a result of Trump's immigration policy, and maybe it is. Did you guys know that Las Vegas is dying? I know a lot of you don't care about Vegas, but it was a big tourist destination. It's dying. One could make several arguments as to why this is. They're saying in this article that they're getting rid of human dealers and going for computers as tourism is drying up. Well, gambling has been legalized across the country, so there's no real reason to go to Vegas anymore.
I actually didn't know. Is he telling the truth here? Gambling was actually legalized across the country? Let me explain why I don't know. I live in Oklahoma. Gambling is on every corner in Oklahoma. Every corner. Tribal, you know. Can't tell. Native Americans here, we got a lot of casinos. We got a Hard Rock, literally just right down the road from me. So, Hard Rock Hotel, it's, you know, it used to be the Cherokee, what was it called? The Cherokee Casino is what it used to be called. And we had the Cherokee Hotel there. And then it transformed into the Hard Rock because they partnered up with them. Still completely owned by the Cherokees, by the way. Completely owned. It is just franchised out. It is all 100% Cherokee Nation taking care of all of it. So there's that, which is it was very, very unusual to have that combination. The Hard Rock had never done anything like that before, so it was a big deal. So, you know, it's one of those things that we've never, ever felt the need to go to Vegas. And if that's true, if the country has legalized gambling, yeah, Vegas is done.
Plus, Vegas sucks. So it's hot, it's expensive. Why bother going there when you got a casino around the corner?
Right.
That may be. Or it also may be that people are disappearing. What do I mean by that? Well, they're dying.
They're getting Liam Neeson. Wait. Taken.
And there's no young people to replace them. And the younger people that are reaching this age where they should be spending money on disposable things don't have any money.
Well, I mean, you could phrase it that way, or you could just say bad economy. Bad economy, probably. I'm guessing people are probably really having to work a lot more. That's what's happening. All the at-home jobs are now disappearing. Okay? We had a massive, massive, massive boom from late 2019 to early 2024 of internet. It peaked probably in like 2023, realistically. But 2024, we had all that COVID all those COVID people. I mean, it might not even just be. It might not just be the whole dead internet theory or anything like that, or bots or USAID or anything like that. It could be that everyone's like, hey, we're returning back to normal now. No more work from home jobs. No more any type of COVID anything anymore. Everyone's out and about, and the economy's so bad that people were like, well, actually, I got to probably get 2 jobs. You know, it may be a lot worse than what we even realize. I know one thing for sure. My job sucks. I have to get a really crappy job thanks to COVID. I used to be a security supervisor for Google. They let me go because I didn't take the vaccine. Now I have to work a lot harder, a lot longer hours. I don't have to have a second job, but luckily my job offers overtime.
Because the money was disproportionately held by, well, not just boomers, but large corporations. I believe the internet is dead. And I believe we are largely looking at people now fighting over the corpse of fake view enterprises. I wondered about this because I'm going to be completely candid with you guys. Maybe it makes me sound arrogant or whatever, but whatever. Timcast IRL. We get, last night we had on YouTube 28,000 concurrent viewers.
Well, I don't need him to explain it. I can just take a look at his channel here. He's got like 5.4 thousand views in 17 minutes. That's not bad. That's way better than what my channel does, clearly. 28,000 views in 2 hours, 53,000 views in 5 hours, 76,000 in 21 hours. A day ago, so full 24 hours, he averages out, I think, at about 115,000 views. Okay. This one got 285,000, 74,000, 125, 138. You see the pattern here. 48, 48, 93, 109. These views would be fantastic for my channel. Absolutely wouldn't be able to complain at all. But let's just look at like his popular. 2.8 million 5 years ago, 2.6 million 6 years ago, 1.6 million 2 years ago, 1.2 million 1 year ago. Just a vast majority of his videos are going to be in the upper 500,000 plus views. These are all from a year ago. All of these, okay? And I will keep going because it's at most popular views. He won't stop dropping off under 500,000 for a bit. Let's see. 500, here we go. 400,000 below. 4 years ago, 6 years ago, 1 year ago, these are all of his views here. A vast majority of his videos, like how many would we have? How many has he uploaded? He's got 8.7 thousand videos. Holy cow. What are his least popular? Can I, oldest 15,000 views? Oh, wow. This is whenever he was over here. Okay. 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, just averaging these. 30,000 at some of his oldest videos here, 7 years ago. You can kind of see where I'm willing to bet we're going to see a massive, massive, massive difference. Let's get to where he's already popular. From 5 years ago. When we hit 5 years ago on this, I bet 4 to 5 years ago, you're going to see a massive, massive spike in his viewership. Let's see. 6. Okay, come on. 6 years ago, 67,000, 70,000 views, 100,000 views. Man, he's got a lot of videos from 6 years ago. I'm just going to keep doing this until we get there. Wish I could absolutely get there quickly. Now he's going from averaging to about 100,000 views. Jussie Smollett, AKs, Smollett. Man, he made a lot of videos 6 years ago. A lot more than he does today. That's probably a vast majority of it. 160, 200,000, 150, 250, 180, 221. It's going up and up and up. 5 years ago, 2.8 million views, 324,000 views. Just a lot more views coming in. 140,000, 220,000, 179,000, 199,000, 182,000, 90,000. 282,000. Look at all this. 5 years ago. This is 2020. When the lockdown started. Views up double to triple his normal viewership. I don't think he changed. I think everything changed at that point in time. Everything. His views from 5 years ago, it's unbelievable how much higher they are. in general. Look at all this. Most of them don't even have thumbnails. Most of them don't even have thumbnails at all. And they're getting this many views. Or had gotten that many views. 145, 118, 290, 424,000, 115,000, 176. You see what I'm saying, guys? Like, a lot more from 5 years ago. I really think that the COVID stuff is dying off. People are going outside more. People are having to work more jobs. USAID may very well be a part of it, but I do think people are burnt out on politics. People felt like they won finally getting Trump in there. Trump's fixing everything. I think people feel like they can finally relax for the first time in 8 years to 9 years. 8 to 9 years. People finally feel a burden off their shoulders, and they're just focusing on themselves for now. That's my opinion on this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Please tell me down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys here in the next one. Later.